Hello, you are listening to Profoundish. I am Alex Duquette. I'm going to be joined by Weston Hasty, and we're going to be talking about cooking and the things we like to prepare in the kitchen. This is a topic that rarely comes up for Weston and I, like outside of the show, so I'm curious to see what he has to say. And after our cooking conversation, we're going to be putting the most popular condiments head-to-head, tournament bracket style, and choose the winner of the best condiment. But we're voting on them based on certain criteria. Like, how well would these condiments hold up in a fight? There can only be one winner, and we're going to find out today. This is Profoundish. Remember, did you ever watch the Cat in the Hat movie? Fired!
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We obviously, as you might imagine, repeated that over and over again. I think we watched that in theaters. Fired!
Fired! I watched that movie on one of my movie nights.
Yeah.
And, like, with everybody, because now it's considered, like, not a great movie, right? And
whatever.
At least that well, I rewatched it, and the opinion with the group, because it was kind of a big group that night that watched it, and was like, some thought it was funny, a couple thought it was a little too much. I thought it was so freaking funny. It was a little, it was a little edgy for like a Dr. Seuss movie, like compared to Cat in the Hat. I don't know when you last watched it, but it's definitely got that Mike Myers humor, right? Like it's got some Austin Powers innuendo in there, like vague. But it's there, and it's like it's a little more edgy than I would have thought, but it's funny. So you should rewatch it if it's been a while. That's good.
Oh, it's. I haven't seen it since it literally came out. Cat in Hat movie, Mike Myers,
but
that came out in 2003. So yeah, I saw that movie 20 years ago. It's been 20 years.
That's wild. Well, for me, it was that long up until I saw it last year, and it was. The internet opinion now is, it doesn't hold up well. It's what stopped people or stopped the or whoever produced it from producing Dr. Seuss movies. Like they put it all on that movie. It did well. I thought it was hilarious. So, I mean, that should be enough. But anyway, that's the opinion now. It's kind of changed over the years.
It is pretty low on Rotten Tomatoes at a sad 10%.
That's what I mean. It was big when it came out. I remember that.
I do like, so it's 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, but of Google users specifically, it says 72% liked this movie. So, I mean, take it as you will.
Right. But clearly a divisive movie now, but it's good. I can't think of a single joke now because it's been almost a year again, but I remember thinking, this is hilarious. Okay. Well, now we should do a phantom clap.
Yeah, we can leave all that in. You'll just have to put the clap get the clap synced, and then put that in.
I probably will. All right. Phantom clap. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right.
So you can just leave the phantom clap part in the recording, and people will have a little behind the scenes, a little BTS. You know what?
Yeah, why not? That could be our first. I think that's our first introduction of the phantom clap publicly, right? I don't think I've ever put it in there before.
I feel like publicly having it on, I think so. We may have mentioned it before. I don't remember.
You might be right. Well, there you go, folks. There's the phantom clap.
The phantom clap. Because when I clap, he can't hear it over Discord's crushing compression, but it's there.
Right.
It's there.
Right. And it's all meant for syncing up. So when he sends me his audio, I can sync it up, and we're straight to go. As they say.
Straight to go, straight to video. Unlike the Dr. Seuss's The Cat in the Hat, which went straight to theaters.
How much is that canine American in the window? Didn't he did some song like that?
Oh God! Again, it's been 20 years. I don't remember. I don't remember like anything about that movie until you said remember the fired part. I'm like, I remember the fired part. Fired.
That part's very, very iconic. Well, that has the guy from Will and Grace in it. I can't think what his name is. That's the guy. Did you ever watch Will and Grace back in the day?
No.
Oh,
I did not.
That was pretty groundbreaking for the time, and mainly just because it was a gay character as like the main character of a show.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Like I've heard the show talked about, and that sounds like something I've heard about it, but I couldn't tell you a single thing about Will and Grace. I don't know characters, plot. I know the name, and I know it was like I get popular or whatever, but I don't know a thing about it.
Well, today's topic is the Will and Grace episode.
It's the Will and Grace. Okay, I'm gonna do some boning up real quick. Okay, Wikipedia, save me.
No, I'm just kidding. Wikipedia, that needs to be a song. Wikipedia, save me. And like make it like kind of in context.
Save me. My girlfriend's asking me some questions I don't know answers to, and I need.
But
Wikipedia.
I need to sound smart. I need to sound smart, so I'm going to Wikipedia. No, but who knows? You might still need to hop on Wikipedia because today I want to talk to you, Weston, about cooking.
All right, Wikipedia.
Going to Wikipedia. How do you cook?
I don't know what's like the go-to. Like, if you have a cooking question, is there like a Wikipedia of cooking, of like recipes and advice and stuff? Is there like a Wikipedia of the cooking world?
Probably All Recipe. It's called All Recipe. Yeah.
All right, I'm going there.
So it's either All Recipe or All Recipes. I'm going there.
I'm going All Recipes. There it is. All Recipes, all one word.
Well, you know what's funny? This is about cooking, but I want to go to movies for a second. Sorry, hold on.
Specifically, cooking movies. Okay,
so cooking movies. So you know how like, so if you're looking up something about a movie, like specifically, and you're going to a website, are you going to IMDb?
Yeah, if I need to know like just the quick plot summary and like the like who played what character or whatever, yeah, IMDb is kind of the go-to. Obviously, I usually just Google, but like Google will bring up IMDb pretty early typically. So that's what I would say I go to. Okay,
I guess a lot of people go there. I've always been a Wikipedia guy for movies. That's what made me think of it. Like I don't know why.
It depends on
it's
how
all there.
much. Yeah, you're right. It's like all there. It depends on how much you need to know about the movie. Like if you want in-depth information, you go to Wikipedia, because I feel like, unless I'm just dumb and I don't know how IMDb works, IMDb at least still tries to save you from the like spoilers a little bit, and it's usually pretty brief.
It is brief, and one thing I do know, because I've been on IMDb a handful of times, it does give you like little like quick facts too at the bottom, which is kind of cool if you just want little blurbs. So now, does that have? But doesn't actually IMDb also have like you can read user reviews, or am I making that up?
I definitely don't ever go to IMDb for reviews. There might be some somewhere. I'm going to, since we're talking about food, I just went to the IMDb page for Chef, if you know that movie.
Okay. No, I don't.
And I see the plot summary. Did you know user reviews? They do have some featured reviews. So
okay,
that's a thing. I don't know. I can see one, but I actually don't know how to see.
Well,
oh, here it is. I see the arrow. Yeah, so yeah, they do. Yeah, they've got user reviews. So yeah, you can read reviews that way.
I was just curious. Okay. Well, now that we talked about that, let's go back to cooking. Let's go back.
That's okay. I'm down.
No, I was just like, as soon as you said that whole thing about is there a cooking Wikipedia? I thought, wait a second, I want to talk about this IMDb thing because I feel like everyone goes there except me for movies. But
which, by the way, everyone listening, I do recommend. I didn't choose Chef just because random. I've seen Chef. It's a good movie. It's rated R. Came out in 2014. It's 2 hours of your time. It's a good movie though.
What kind of movie is it?
So like literally to give you like the just brief plot summary, right? This head chef at a restaurant decides to quit his job and open up his own food truck. And he's got like this kid or something that he brings with it. It's like, I don't remember if it's his kid or if it's like his stepkid. I don't remember the full plot. He brings him along. So it's kind of like a family movie in terms of like, kind of like his little family that he takes with him. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Look it up. I do recommend it. I bought it for Justin as like a like Christmas gift. Yeah, 'cause like, I always bought people like movies for Christmas or whatever. I bought it for him for like Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll check that out then.
Yeah.
As long as it's not scary. Because like you said chef and rated R, and I thought there's a possibility that this is like a murder chef.
It's rated R for like dialogue stuff. I think they get like, I don't remember exactly. It might get raunchy sometimes, but it's not like murder or something.
Okay. Then I'm in. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
So Weston, would you consider yourself a chef in the kitchen?
No.
I had a feeling you'd say that. I just wanted to talk about cooking in general today, and just kind of see kind of what you do in the kitchen, if you do anything, kind of what your thoughts are in general.
Kind of a sandwich guy myself.
That's fair.
By profession.
But, well, I mean, yeah, you kind of have to be.
Yeah.
So do you prepare anything, though? Like, is there ever a time where you kind of feeling a little fancy and you go, I want to put something together? You ever do anything like that?
I've done some stuff, like in the oven, or if I'm like I've done like a stir fry type thing before. So like, you're doing your different meats in your different pans and throwing it on like noodles or rice or whatever. I've done like some stuff, but nothing fancy. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
I'm very much a pasta guy, or like toast and or eggs, like breakfast, breakfast stuff, which is easy to do. So I'm a pretty straightforward, no frills kind of guy. I'm not scared of anything. Cooking's just never been a big passion. Doesn't help that I don't have a lot of counter space.
That definitely doesn't help. You need to have that preparation area.
Yeah.
Stir fry, you mentioned stir fry. Stir fry was kind of where I started and I still go to stir fries because it's quick and it's easy. Maybe not quick,
Right.
but it is easy because you can just put things together that you like, and odds are it's going to be good.
Yeah, you throw it on a pan and just stir fry, and then you're like, and then I eat it. I mean, it's I don't know, like
right.
you can
Perfect.
you could probably get fancier, but like that's the premise, that's the idea.
Right. But what I like about that too, though, is that if you put decent food in there, you're eating something healthier than otherwise putting something in the frozen in the oven or something, which I like too.
Yeah, I do a lot of that.
I
Frozen
know.
Pizzas.
I used to do. I never did frozen pizzas because I never was a frozen pizza guy, but I was a big. I guess I'd say I still am technically a pizza roll guy. Love those.
I always when I go shopping, my eye for prices always kick in. Where I'm like, do I really want to pay like the same or more for pizza rolls than I would for just literally a pizza? So I love pizza rolls. Don't get me wrong, and if I specifically want them, I can get them. But then I'm like, well, there's these pizza deals over here, and
right.
So that's what I like to go for.
So I guess it sounds like you've never really had that itch you wanted to scratch with the whole cooking thing. At least not as much maybe as me. I don't consider myself an amazing cook by any means, but I think it sounds like I do it more than you do. Because I know that I've realized, so you and I, this is something we've talked about so many things, but we've never talked about this, or at least or barely have.
It's because I don't have a lot to say. I'm just kind of like, I put the first bun down, and then you got to have your meat, and then your cheese, and then your veggies, then I've got a sandwich. Ta-da!
well, wait a second. Do you ever broil the edges of the buns? That's really good.
Have
Depends
I
on
ever broiled the edges of a bun?
If whatever you're eating is warm in the middle, I guess I should say. Not if it's cold. That'd be weird. You ever done anything like that? There's little things you can do. Okay, how about this? I had a question per.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
Maybe I don't know cooking terminology well enough. I'm still trying to wrap my head around broiling the edges of a bun. I am still trying to figure that out.
So like how your oven has a broiler. It's
sure,
like
maybe. I guess.
Basically, if you broil something, and I'm by no means a professional here with cooking, but if you broil something if you just want to brown the edges or like the top layer of a bun, not the hood, but the flat part, right? And you lay it upside down, put it in the oven, and you brown it.
I'm thinking of the crust. What would be if it was like a slice of bread, like the crust part would be the edge part, right?
Oh,
that's
I
what
see.
I was thinking. So I'm like, what? What? I'm like, that seems
I can
extra.
see why you're confused.
Okay.
Well, that's kind of like where I would start too. I would just do little extra things here and there. I would make my stir fries, and then I would start to experiment with stuff because I've always wanted to be a great cook. Because there's a lot of people in my family. My dad's one of them. My mom is one of them. They can just kind of throw. They're one of those people, they know their way around the kitchen well enough where they can just go, oh, this will be good at this. And they can just know without even trying it first, I want to get to that point. Right now, I still kind of go by the books. I know this is going to be good at this because I've tried it before. It's always hard to experiment and have it fail. However, I have a story to tell, but I want to ask you first. Have you ever just had a night where you've kind of completely experimented and just ate the weirdest combination of foods, but you were just hungry and had to do it? You ever had a night like that?
Yes.
It doesn't have to be necessarily cooked, but just something prepared or strange, weird combo or something.
It's usually in the form of a sandwich, but I've put
it's going back to a sandwich.
Listen, I am part sandwich.
I guess so.
So usually if you're just, it's like, well, what do I got that I can throw on two buns or what? I mean, I've literally had. Have you ever had a bologna and butter and cookie sandwich?
bologna butter cookie sandwich. No, I have not had bologna butter cookie sandwich.
You know who has?
I can only imagine. Is it you?
This guy. So, yeah. So, I mean, if you could put it on a sandwich, you can eat it.
How is it layered? I need you to layer this for me. So it was the bun.
So you toast
or
two...
the bread.
The way I did this, you toast 2 slices of bread into toast, butter them. You warm up a cookie in the microwave, put a warm cookie on one slice of the toast because you've buttered the toast, and then a slice of bologna. And I don't think there was cheese, but I think I had something else I added. I just don't remember what it was, but that's it. Then top bun done.
Now, paint this picture for me. So was this a necessity thing? Was this just a curiosity thing? Like this cookie's going to go stale. I need to eat this. Like, what was the idea?
Right. No, that was the idea, right? Like, oh, I'm kind of hungry. What do we got in the fridge? Not much. All right. Well, I've got bologna and I got bread. I got some butter. Also, like you said, these cookies are going to go stale. Like, you'd called it. I mean, that's what happened, right? These cookies, like, I've got a couple cookies. They've been in the fridge for about 3 weeks now. It's time to eat them.
Were they Subway cookies?
Oh, they were.
I figured. Oh, they're
You know how many Subway cookies I go through? A metric ton of them have I eaten.
Well, that's actually really funny. But my story is a similar setup. It was like, I need to go to the store. I don't want to go to the store. I'm home. It's late. I just got to make something like that I have. So I looked at my fridge and I also went, wow, I don't have much. I didn't have a cookie or bologna, but what I did have was tortillas, peanut butter, which tortillas and peanut butter alone, I've done that a handful of times. That's not super weird because a tortilla is similar to bread and you put peanut butter on bread,
yeah,
right?
That's not weird. Not yet.
It is when you do tortilla, peanut butter, popcorn burritos.
And popcorn. See, popcorn doesn't have that oomph. It's got that crunch, I guess.
I had nothing, dude. I had peanut butter, tortillas, and popcorn kernels. So I popped popcorn, and then I just shoved... I put peanut butter all over the tortilla, and then just wrapped a bunch of popcorn in there and ate popcorn peanut butter burritos.
Honestly, though, if you think
it was
about
good,
it...
Though.
If you think about, like, people like caramel corn, right? You pour, like, caramel over corn.
Yep.
Right? People love that.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to have peanut butter corn, right? You can't really drizzle peanut butter on popcorn, right? I mean, I guess you can heat up the peanut butter, but don't ask questions. If you wanted to have peanut butter popcorn, you got to keep it together somehow. And if you got a tortilla, that does the trick.
Well, it did do the trick. And I remember thinking, this is so freaking, in the moment, like, this is weird, but it tastes so good. So... I've never done it again, but I've been curious about it. You do mention popcorn. There's something that a friend of mine, it's his family recipe, but he gave it to me. And next time you and I are together in a kitchen, whether it's here or I'm at your place or whatever, I want to make this if we're in the mood for it. And it's vanilla popcorn is what it is. And basically all it is, it's popping popcorn. And I like to pop the popcorn in the old school whirly pop thing.
Yeah.
Pop the popcorn, and then it's a crap ton of butter, crap ton of sugar, so we're good so far.
So far, so good.
Cornstarch mixed in there, and then a little bit of vanilla extract. And you mix it all up, and then you drizzle it over the popcorn. And then, like, you mix it up, and it gets in the whole thing. It's a huge thing of popcorn I always make for it. And it is so delicious because, like, it's not too hot to where it melts all the popcorn, but, like, it hardens pretty quick. And then but it's so good. It's like you're eating a bowl of popcorn balls. And if you like the taste of that stuff, it's very similar to popcorn balls and a little bit of caramel corny too, but it's very fresh and soft. Oh, but there's still the crunch.
I like popcorn balls. There was one of our town neighbors in this village I grew up in during I grew up in a village. I like saying that. The village that I grew up in. When I was a kid, when we go trick or treating, we had one of our neighbors. That's what they did instead of candy was popcorn balls.
Oh man, we do it every. My mom used to do it every fall. I remember the first time we tried it. I mean, now the thought of eating a popcorn ball to me feels like I'm going to break a tooth. But when I was a kid, I loved it. Anyway, vanilla popcorn was really good. But see, that's the thing. That's the thing that I know nothing about, though, is the dessert side. So Steph she's really into baking. So she knows how to make all that stuff, like cheesecakes and cakes and other desserts as well. I'm more of the cook, so we kind of got that covered. She can do dessert, I'll do dinner. That's fine.
Hey, that's like a well-oiled team right there.
I know, it's great.
Do you need someone to do the appetizers? I can do the hors d'oeuvres. Are
you just going to cover it with, like, frozen pizza?
No. It'll be like a bunch of tiny sandwiches with a toothpick in them.
You know what? That's great, because, like we can do a dinner night, like, once a week, and then every time you can, like, change what's on the little sandwiches.
Right.
You can do that.
Like, right?
I think that makes sense.
We've got a restaurant started.
Let's do it. Now, you got to come up with a name, because you're the name guy. So you can get back to me on that.
We'll call it insert name here.
That's actually not terrible.
The downside of having a name like that is people don't actually know if you're a restaurant or something else.
That
like,
reminds me.
Is this retail? Is this like a mall? Is this like phones?
That's true. Yeah, that is true. This might be a very uninteresting story, but I'll tell it quick. One of my favorite bands is called Gomez. That's their name. Not Selena Gomez, just Gomez. Mm-hmm. And they didn't have a name when they first started playing, and they're an English group, so they're out in the UK. And they were playing this little pub somewhere, and they were trying to tell their friend who was in town, like, hey, we're playing at this pub, but he didn't know where they were, so they put a sign on the door that said, Gomez in here. And their friend's name was Gomez, right? So they had a big sign on the door that just said, Gomez in here, so Gomez knew to go to that bar, not the one next to it or whatever. But people started kind of trickling in there, and they thought the band's name was Gomez, so they just kept it.
I like that story because it's just... I love the idea of things being named because of incompetence, right? Like we can't risk Gomez not knowing where to go. And then because he's the guy who would get lost, now the band is named after.
Their lives are never the same. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think, so I totally forgot, man, that like I wasn't sure how much you were going to actually have to say about cooking because I could keep going on, man.
Tell some cooking stories. Like, man, this can be your episode to shine a little bit. If I've got anything to add, I'll just, add it or whatever. I'll keep making little sandwich references or whatever.
Well, maybe if nothing else, I can just give you some, like, little things to think about next time you make a stir fry. So here's something.
Have you ever burned ramen?
There we go. Okay, that's a good question.
See?
Well, guess what? Here's my answer. I've eaten ramen, like, once, ever.
Oh, well, I've had a lot more than once.
Which sounds wild because I feel like we all have a rite of passage in our lives where we have like ramen for a while. But I missed out on that train and I did not burn it. Did you burn it? You didn't put enough water in there or something?
Oh, I've done that. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you know what people do though? There's like chefs on like YouTube who like take cheap ingredients and then put them in like really fancy things. I'm pretty sure I saw a guy do something with ramen like that before. I don't know where I saw it.
I'll be the YouTube channel that does the opposite. You give me really fancy, amazing ingredients, and I'll ruin them for you faster than you can believe.
You just elbow it, beat it down, or like, you know what I mean? You don't even eat it. You just beat the food.
Gotta give it the old
like
people's
super
elbow.
Expensive meat. Speaking of things that you wouldn't expect to be fancy, but were, not too long ago, I had filet mignon sliders at a restaurant nearby here.
I feel like those are two diametrically opposed concepts, right? Like sliders came from a point in time to like have really cheap and fast like crap to eat, right? So filet mignon sliders is like a little bit of eccentric meets the common man or something.
It's and which is also, in my opinion, it feels like a trendy kind of thing, especially at this place. It's kind of a trendy place. It just kind of fit the aesthetic and the feel of the place. But yeah, it was delicious. Like, I love sliders anyway. Like, give me some White Castle. Love it. But man, with that good meat. That's another thing too, is meat. Have you ever prepared any meat like chicken or steak or anything like that? Because you are a chicken guy.
I am a chicken guy, but I also just kind of like to eat out a lot. So a lot of my stuff's like, cold cuts and stuff. They don't really cook. I have done chicken. It turned out interesting.
Okay. What do you mean?
Well, so okay, listen, if you buy your chicken and you freeze it and then you need to thaw it out.
Yeah.
But then if you remember that you're me and you don't plan or prep anything ever for any reason, so you have to cook it straight from the freezer because you're a maniac.
Oh.
And then you also have to figure out how to season it, even though it's made out of ice currently because it's frozen. But then also how long to cook it. It turned out interesting and no one died, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. I'm glad no one died. Yeah, that's the most important part. Yeah, that's cooking it from freezing, that's a no-no.
Oh, yeah, it should be.
Well, because you could at least throw it in there, keep it in the bag and run it under cold water or something. You didn't do anything like that?
Yeah, you could do that. That's an option.
Well,
look, if there's one thing I've learned from cooking shows, it's low and slow, baby.
Low and slow. You know what changed my experience in the kitchen completely, especially talking about thawing stuff? This isn't thawing, but it reminded me of it, is the air fryer. The air fryer has totally changed my cooking experiences because I'll throw all kinds of crap in there just to try it and see what works.
I think that air fryer is something that I definitely need to invest in. I love fried anything, and like you said, you just throw stuff in there and it's a thing. So
and it's nice too because it's less, it's a little bit healthier for you too, and it's just a better way to.
Don't get it twisted. It's not that air frying it makes it healthier. It's that air frying it is healthier than deep frying it.
Well, that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
The thing is, I don't deep fry anything, so all it is, it's going to add more fried food into my life. Is what it's going to do. But,
okay, so you're not going for the purpose I'm going for, but that's okay. No, one thing that I do in mine a lot is I'll do vegetables. I'll do I don't know if you what are they called? Bell peppers.
Oh, I love peppers.
So chop them up really finely because if you don't, they won't get really crispy. But you make little bell pepper crisps in there. Oh, it's so good. I put that on a burger once. That was really good. Bell pepper crisps, just as the top to the burger, which is good. Well, you know what? I think you'll appreciate this then. Speaking of sandwiches, so this isn't a cold cut sandwich, but my burger process. I learned this from my friend Keelan. He actually for years was a sous chef at this really nice restaurant here in town.
Okay.
So he's got a lot more credentials. So I take what he says pretty seriously, and I'll give it a shot. So for burgers, right? I do this now too. I call them more gourmet-esque burgers. So I'll use meat from Middendorf Farms. Check out Middendorf Farms on Facebook. That's my parents' farm. Anyway, I'll get beef from them, and then before I cook, and I recommend this too if you're ever grilling, Weston, if you ever grilling burgers, I'm just throwing this at you.
Sure.
This is to anybody too. Infuse barbecue sauce with the beef before you prepare it, and then throw it on there. And then so that alone blew my mind. So I never would do that. I would take the beef. I know people would sometimes infuse it with things, but usually I would just take the beef and I would put a lot of seasoning on it or whatever, right? And then throw it on the grill, which is very common. But yeah, I'll do the barbecue sauce, and then I'll do this hamburger seasoning, and then I make a sauce, which this isn't anything special, but making it by hand feels more special to me. So what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of ketchup, a little bit of mustard, and then I'll take pickle juice, and I'll mix those three things together. And then I take the buns, and then I broil them full circle. I'll broil the buns, so they're
just the edges,
crispy, just the edges. That's right. Don't want to keep it in there for too long. But yeah, anyway, then I get some lettuce, get some Swiss cheese, put that all on there. So it's you bite into it and it's crunchy almost, and this right in the right spot, and it's soft everywhere else. It's really good, and they're so good. They're not you're not using super expensive ingredients. You can throw tomatoes on there, whatever else you want, but the flavor is so good. Oh, and you have to use Hawaiian buns. That's what I use. Gives it that little extra sweet.
I do like Hawaiian rolls. Hawaiian, like, if you're making a sandwich out of it, though, I usually don't like sandwiches that have too much stuff in them because the Hawaiian stuff is just too soft. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know
So, like, if you're having a burger, I don't really want it on a Hawaiian bun myself because I also just like hard bread. So, like, I'd rather have it on toasted bread that's, like, crunchier or something. But I do like Hawaiian rolls.
Well, here's what I will tell you. When you're here next and I'm cooking you the vanilla popcorn, I'm going to make you the burgers with the Hawaiian buns and see if I can change your mind.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's delicious, and I won't complain about it. I mean, anyone making me a home-cooked meal, you're not going to hear me complaining. Ever.
Have I ever cooked for you before?
Like, cooked? I don't think so. Because, like, we last time I was down your way, we made, like, eggs and bacon, but, like...
So I made you breakfast, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I ever... Yeah, I think we went out besides that. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then we drunkenly ate Cheez-Its.
If you want, next time I'm out your way, because you've got a lot more counter space, we'll get the cameras set up, right? And we're going to have a cooking show, like a cook-off. And you're going to make something amazing, and I'm going to be... I don't remember what cooking show this was. It was like an Iron Chef or something, but I don't remember what it was. But it was a celebrity edition, and they were raising money for charities. So there's all these celebrities where there's like $100,000 on the line, and there's like a tournament style. They eliminate people as they go. That's... Okay. I want to do that. You and me, elimination style. You're going to be the top chef, the Iron Chef guy who's amazing. I'm Gilbert Gottfried. And this episode that I watched, there was an episode where Gilbert Gottfried, I don't remember what charity he was there for. He can't cook. Apparently he can't cook. He made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on a nationally televised cooking show for children. Obviously got eliminated right away, but it was so funny because the judges, like, were so sweet because he made a PB&J. You can't criticize. He made PB&J. There's nothing to criticize, but obviously he can't move on. He still ended up donating like the full amount he would have won to like the charity because the guy's a sweetheart. But he shows up, and I was like, "That's my guy right there. That's my soul. That's my soul man. He's making a PB&J sandwich on a cooking tournament."
I made a PB&J.
I freaking love that. It happened like a bajillion years ago, and I never forgot it.
Oh my gosh. I just loved his voice.
Yeah, a
Great
unique
voice.
one for sure.
Very unique voice. Well, hey, Weston, thanks for letting me talk to you about cooking for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like we only barely scratched the surface because I feel like you had so much more to say.
Well, you know what? Maybe next time I could get a sous chef on here and really have some knowledge dropped on us.
Ooh,
maybe.
First guest will be, what'd you even say his name was? I forget did you say? Your sous chef friend, Keelan. I was like
Keelan.
We'll have him
Actually,
on.
we'll have him on. Actually, we should get him for the cooking show because he knows what he's talking about. We'll get him on, and then you, or then me, then you. So it's like the experience, like the professional, the intermediate, and then the guy who makes PB&J.
Because if he was there to like referee or like judge or whatever, it would just be him ignoring you the entire time and then just making sure I'm not burning the kitchen down the entire time.
Is that a flame I see? Huh?
It sure is. I'm making flame broiled ice cream.
For some reason, that sounds good. What's that ice cream? It's got a weird name. It's like flame. It's like fire ice cream, like cooked ice cream. Remember, there's some weird name for it.
I don't even.
Or do I just sound completely drunk right now?
This. I googled fire ice cream and I found Google images of like ice cream cones on fire with like Photoshop.
No, there's like a name for ice cream. But it's like cooked ice cream, or it's a name that doesn't make sense, but it's not actually cooked ice cream. But it's okay.
There's a what is fire and ice dessert? Warm bread pudding and vanilla ice cream, encased in chocolate, ignited with rum and served flaming. Hang on,
igniting with rum and served flaming. That
you have my attention.
Yeah, I'm listening.
But I have no idea what you're talking about. I've just got Google open.
Well, how about this, Weston? We will figure that out later. Right now, you and I are going to take a commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to be taking some of the most popular condiments, and only one can be the winner. We're putting them head-to-head, tournament bracket style, but there's a few criteria that we're judging them on.
Ooh, okay.
So we're going to do that. When we get back, don't go anywhere, and if you do, please come back because we need you here.
Don't touch that dial.
Profoundish is brought to you in part by Alex Duquette Medleys. I make theme song medleys, which is where I take a bunch of theme songs and mash them up into one bite-sized song. From Nickelodeon to Adult Swim, I cover it all. So, if you want to take a fun nostalgic trip, search my name, Alex Duquette, on YouTube, or go to alexduquette.net.
Profoundish is brought to you in part by Magic Man Mo, a gaming YouTube channel run by me. We stream and we do variety Let's Plays. Check out a short stream compilation to see if it's something that you're going to be into. It's a lot of fun. I made it, so I know. That's Magic Man Mo on YouTube.
Get down to business.
To defeat...
The condiments.
Oops, sorry, I had to step away. All I heard was the condiments, and I thought,
That's
well,
all
watch
I
your
said.
language, buddy.
I was
This is a
waiting to see
family
if you
show.
wanted to continue or if you want me to continue making a condiment-based parody off of Mulan's Make a Man Out of You.
Give me one more iconic Disney song, but like condiment-related. Just quick little parody. It has to be 1 or 2 lines.
Sing with all the colors of the stains.
Ew.
Like stains on
I
my
don't like
shirt,
Colors of the
of the Wind
Stains.
from Pocahontas. I tried.
Yes.
You know, it's funny. I don't know that song very well, period, at all. But that's for some reason the next song that came to my mind. It's like, I'm sure there's another one I know better, but oh well.
You know, Pocahontas was one that I don't remember much now, but I loved it as a kid. But I don't... I mean, I know Colors of the Wind, but that's like
Right.
the only one I know.
I
Isn't that like...
wasn't super-
Isn't that the one? Like the big one?
Yeah, that's the big song. I don't know if there's another song in the Pocahontas movie or not, but for sure, Colors of the Wind. It's fairly early on too.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Weston, but Pocahontas loved mustard. Did you know that?
A little known fact. Did you know that my great grand cousin or whatever was Pocahontas?
Really?
I have no idea if that's true or not. My crazy
So-
uncle says so though.
Your great-great-great-grand cousin must
Or
have liked
something.
mustard.
Must have. Funny because I wasn't a big fan
because-
of mustard really for the longest time.
Well, we're going to be talking about this because right now we've got 8 condiments. These are some of the most popular ones in America. These are randomly seeded, tournament bracket style, and there can only
Seeded.
be one.
Mustard seed.
As soon as you said that, I thought, oh, man, he's onto it. But we're doing it different. We've done a few tournament brackets before in the past, and those are always fun, and
Yeah.
we just kind of put them head-to-head. But I thought to make it a little extra interesting, we're going to add 3 criteria
Okay.
for each one that we have to vote with a number, 1 being the least, 5 being the most. And with these 3 criteria, whoever has the number that adds up the highest, basically that's the winner, right?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
that
here's
way
some-
we don't just sit around and say, oh, I like this one more. And you're like, I like this
Right.
one more. And we somehow have to compromise.
Exactly. So I was trying to find ways to kind of hone this in a little bit. So here's what it's going to be. Well, actually, I'll read the condiments first. So the condiments that we have are ketchup versus soy sauce, hot sauce versus mayonnaise, mustard versus salsa, and barbecue sauce versus ranch dressing. Now, I'm interested in doing some of these. Now, there's 3 criteria that we're going to vote on these for. So the 3 criteria are from 1 to 5, how much we personally like it. Right, we can explain that. This is all kind of in our opinion, of course. The next one is, in our eyes, practicality / versatility. You know, like how often is this going to be used, in your opinion? Not necessarily in what you would cook every day, but just how you see it. How commonly is this going to be used in something? Then the final thing, this is just for fun, but because you know me, I like to personify inanimate objects for some reason. We don't have to get into that here, but I thought because I did that, I thought
How
I do that a
cute they
lot.
are.
How sexy they are. No, I had to get out of that. So it was how well, from 1 to 5, 5 being the best, how well they would do in a fight if they were like personified.
Well, I feel like that's slightly biased, but we'll get there and see how this pans out.
You think it's biased? How?
Well, we'll get there.
Okay. Maybe you see something I don't. I'm not
What
sure.
I'm saying is I feel like some of these sauces are more fighters than lovers compared to others, right? And that gives them a whole like extra set of points if you're a fighting sauce. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I guess it's all about how we see it. Well,
yeah, we'll see.
Do you kind of get what we're doing here?
All right. We're ranking them by personal taste. We're ranking them by practicality and versatility. And then we're ranking them by how much they could win in a fight.
Yes. And then we'll add those numbers up. Once again, it's from 1 to 5. So we'll get started here with the first matchup, which is ketchup versus soy sauce.
Yeah.
Now, just right off the bat here, I'm not going to give numbers quite yet. I got to think about them, but I do love both ketchup and soy sauce.
I definitely, like child version, Weston, right? Loved ketchup, right?
Yeah.
So, like, ketchup would be a clear winner. It'd be like, 10 out of 5 for personal like, 10 out of 5 versatility, because put it on everything. You know what I mean? 10 out of 5,
ketchup,
I'll fight you about it. Like, ketchup was my go-to sauce as a kid. I'm older now, and I'm not as crazy about ketchup as I used to be. I still like ketchup. Soy sauce is going to have its work cut out for it, because I don't like soy sauce.
Right.
So it's going to have its work cut out for it. Soy sauce is already showing pretty weak in this matchup between the two of us. Me already kind of holding it back a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I guess the best way for us to do this, should we just kind of go one by one? So like we'll both give our
start
numbers,
with ketchup,
like,
give our
for
numbers.
Ketchup.
Yeah, and then made them up.
So this is going to be weird because we'll get to it. So I guess we'll start here. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. So for ketchup, I'll just kind of start. So ketchup nowadays, as a kid, I loved it, right? So this is the first thing is how much we like it personally. Right. These days, I'm not crazy about it. Like if I'm going to have French fries, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to dip them in ketchup. There's something else I'll dip it in that we'll get to later. But yeah, I'll dip them in ketchup, right? But I'm going to give ketchup, for how much I like it, I'm going to give it a 3. It's kind of in the middle for me. Now, the practicality, versatility thing, you really can use ketchup on so much stuff if you want. Like all kinds of meats and, other things too. You can put them on, like, I know people who put them on their eggs,
Yeah.
I don't personally do that, but I know you can. So I'm going to give that one probably a 4 because you can use ketchup a lot. So that adds up to 7. And then in terms of how well they do in a fight, I see ketchup as kind of like, ketchup needs to stay on top of the game. Ketchup doesn't want to waste its time in the weeds, getting down in the mud, getting in a fight, right? Ketchup needs to keep its face pretty. If ketchup's getting in a fight, it's going to be, hey, torso only, no face. That's how I see ketchup. Ketchup knows it's ketchup, okay? Like, it knows it's like the number one condiment. So I'm going to say ketchup would do it, but it doesn't really want to, so I'm going to give that one a 2 for how much it would do in a fight.
Oh, okay.
So that's 7 plus 2, so that my part of this adds up to 9.
I'm going to say, for how much I like ketchup, in my mind, since you did a 1 to 5 scale, I have to imagine 3 is the middle ground, right? So middle is like, it's okay. But 4 is I like it, and 5 is I love it. 2 is I don't like it, and 1 is I hate it. So when it comes to ketchup, I'm going to give it a very solid 4 for liking it, because I do like it. I don't love it.
Okay.
If I was a child, like I said, 10 out of 5. But I like ketchup, so 4 on the liking it, right? When it comes to versatility, you're not entirely wrong. Like, you can put it on a lot of different things. But ketchup, I think, often has very traditional things that you put it on. Like what you put ketchup on is the only things you put ketchup on. Usually if you're experimenting, now, unless you love ketchup, if you're experimenting, like, right? Like, if you're like, oh man, I made this rice-a-roni stir fry. And I've got, normally I'd put soy sauce on that. But no, I feel like putting ketchup on it, that would be weird, right? Ketchup's not super versatile. But eggs is actually a common one. Burgers, hot dogs. But that's fries. That's kind of the realm that it's got. I think ketchup's actually not that super versatile. It's not super niche, but not super versatile. I'm going to put it kind of in the middle, though, as being like a classic, as just like a 3.
Okay.
And then as far as winning in a fight, I think ketchup isn't super hardy, but also not super weak. So I'm kind of thinking, right, what you said, kind of like body punches with ketchup. And there's a number of different ways ketchup can go. You got like more watery or thicker kind of ketchups, and you got tangier ketchups. I'm going to go with a 4 on whether or not it wins in a fight, because a lot of times it's a little in your face.
Right, okay.
So with me, with a 4.34, that puts me at a solid 11 for ketchup.
So 9 plus 11 is 20. Okay. So we got 20 for ketchup.
Yeah.
See, the thing with the ketchup and the versatility is that it's mixed in a lot of things. So that's where I was going with the versatility. But I get what you're saying too. Mm-hmm. Traditionally speaking, you got your eggs, got your meatloaf, you got your whatever else it goes with.
I wouldn't even think of meatloaf, because I'm a barbecue on meatloaf kind of guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll get there.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I just didn't even think about, because ketchup absolutely can go in meatloaf, and that would be normal. But if I add something to meatloaf, I actually don't usually add ketchup to meatloaf. If I'm adding something as a condiment, I would add barbecue to it. I wasn't even thinking ingredient. I was just thinking like what you would pour it on. Which you're probably not wrong. I just didn't even think about it.
I know people do barbecue sauce on meatloaf, but I don't think I've ever tried that before. Not with barbecue sauce. That sounds good though.
It is good. That's
Which
what I
there
do.
is. Well, here's the thing about ketchup. Ketchup is so ubiquitous because ketchup is in barbecue sauce.
As an ingredient, you're probably right. Maybe it deserved a better versatility score than I gave it. Maybe you're right. We'll see if it makes it to round 2. Maybe my mind will change. I don't know.
Now, it sounds like you got a stronger opinion on soy sauce, but I do. I guess I'll go ahead and go here. So how much we personally like it. This is where it's going to get interesting, because for me, soy sauce is I'm stuck between 4 and a 5 because I love soy sauce. Remember, this is our thing, Weston. We have a lot in common, but food, we just don't.
We just kind of don't.
I'm going to, honestly, though, I don't love it so much that I don't love it like I love cheese, right? So I'm going to put it the next peg down. I'm going to give it a 4. I love soy sauce. I only eat it. It's only conditional, right? It's not like on everything, which goes to my next thing with practicality, versatility. The thing is, though, some might think it'd be like at a 2 or something like that, but that's not true, because soy sauce is actually used in a lot of things. Actually, a lot of sweet things, believe it or not. If you make I make this, I call it a baked maple chicken, and I actually I mix soy sauce with what's it called, syrup, soy sauce and syrup, and it kind of thins out the syrup a little bit, which I want it to be thinned out a little bit, and it just adds this. It almost gives it like a weird tanginess to it. It's good. That's not just a weird thing I do. That is a thing that people do. So
yeah, sure, if you say so.
Sure. No. So I'm gonna put soy sauce for that one in the middle, because I've looked up a lot of ingredients on making things, and more things call for soy sauce than you think, not just kind of traditional like Asian related food and stuff. So that's a 4 and a 3. Then how well it would do in a fight, I don't think soy sauce would do too well. It's thin,
right.
It's really salty. I feel like it'd be like if this was a guy in a fight, he's going to be really stinky. Like he's got bad BO, but he's going to be a bad fighter.
Okay, I didn't think of that, but so, okay.
I don't know why I associated the stinkiness with that super saltiness, I guess. I don't know. Because it's got a very, obviously, distinct salty flavor. For the most part. So I'm going to give soy sauce a 1 in a fight.
Oh.
So, yeah. So that's a 1, I said a 3, and then I said a 4. So that's 8.
Okay. Soy sauce, for personal taste, I actually just don't like soy sauce. I won't refuse to eat something with soy sauce on it. Now, I'm not coming from the angle of if you've made something where soy sauce is an ingredient as opposed to just added to, because I didn't think of that with your syrup example, right? I probably wouldn't even know soy sauce was in there, but you cook. I mean, that's not your fault. I mean, I don't really cook, but to that point, however, if I don't know it's in there, then I can't really say that I like soy sauce. I like the thing that it made, but I don't like soy sauce. Yep. So to that point, I'm sticking to my guns. I don't really like it. That's a 2 on my personal taste.
Okay.
I know. Really rough from your nearly 5.
I know.
In terms of its versatility, I know, again, like you said, you're adding it as an ingredient. I'm thinking of, like, what would I add soy sauce to? Which typically nothing. But what it would be would be just Chinese takeout, right? I don't.
So do you do that in general when you get Chinese? Like, do
No.
you use soy sauce or no?
I do not.
Okay.
But
Wow.
that's like
Okay.
the only, in my world, that's the only opportunity. I even have soy sauce presented to me. You can get packets of it with your takeout, or you can grab some at the Chinese restaurant or whatever. Otherwise, my world does not involve soy sauce at all. So in terms of versatility, you're probably right for ingredients, but I don't cook, so I don't have that experience. And in terms of what I would put it on, you wouldn't put it on a hot dog or a burger. That'd be strange.
I don't know.
You
I'd
wouldn't
try
put it over a salad, I don't think. Maybe you do. I don't know. So I'm going to go with
That
it.
sounds good too. Everything you're saying, I'm like, that sounds good.
That sounds amazing.
Sorry.
I mean, if it were a vinaigrette, but soy sauce,
Right.
it does go on some stuff. I was going to give it a 1, but that's also coming from the fact that I don't put it on anything. So I'll be a little more generous and give it a 2 on its versatility. And then standing up in a fight, it's got the word soy in it, and the meme is soy boy. So, I mean, I have to say, I will say it's a 2 again, not a 1, because as much as everyone wants to make fun of soy for being like weak, I will say for me, if soy sauce is on something, I notice. So it's got a little kick. And like I said, if it's salty, it's like whining. It's a little kind of, like I imagine, like if you're salty and you're complaining a lot, I'll give it another 2 for a fight. For me, it's 2s across the board, 2, 4, 6 points for soy sauce.
So 6 plus 8 is 14.
Yep.
So ketchup 20, soy sauce 14. Ketchup moves on.
Easily.
I should have known. Actually, I figured it would move on just because, I mean, it's ketchup, right? Like,
It's ketchup.
It's ketchup. That's okay. I'm not married to soy sauce, but I would be if I could be. Next up, we've got hot sauce versus mayonnaise.
Yep.
We're going to start with hot sauce. But first, Weston, would you ever combine hot sauce and mayonnaise together and put it on something? That actually might be kind of good.
Not on purpose without you just asking. Like, I wouldn't have thought about it, but I mean, like, there's nothing wrong against it, I guess. Like, I'd eat it because I like both just fine. I'm not like, I didn't like soy sauce, right?
Right.
I wouldn't combine them myself, but I would eat it if they were combined.
Actually, I think spicy mayonnaise is a thing.
Oh, I think
Actually,
it
now that I
is.
think about it. Yeah. All right. Well, hot sauce. So I, once again, frickin' love hot sauce. Now, between ketchup, soy sauce, and now hot sauce, out of those three, for me, hot sauce, just in terms of how much I like it,
Yeah.
5. 100%. I love hot stuff. Love it, love it, love it. You were there when I tried the hottest wings on the menu at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I didn't love them. They were a little
They're
too hot for me.
Very
but
hot. I have since done that. I did that with my brother. You weren't there for it, and I had several of them, and I was hallucinating. It was great.
yeah, it's too hot. There's no flavor. I need that flavor. But
No,
anyway,
flavor's not there.
most hot sauces I love when they are hot, but they still have that flavor. So for me, that is a 5. Just the perfect hot sauce for me is Cookies hot sauce. Get it. So good. Anyway, next one would be practicality. Look, I put hot sauce on more things than most people do, and I recognize that. I do put it on more things than I think I probably should. I do that with eggs. I do hot sauce with eggs, scrambled eggs, hot sauce. That's really good.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But like, once again, though, I don't know. I'd be putting soy sauce on more things than hot sauce. So I'm going to say hot sauce is going to be probably a 2 for me there. That's 7. And then final thing is how well I do in a fight. I mean, it's hot sauce, right? I mean,
Yeah.
hot sauce is going to kick some ass.
Oh, you know it. It has many times. It's kicked mine a lot.
Right. Quite literally, in a way, it really kind of kicks our asses like that the next day. As my father would always say, it burns twice.
Like
you know what I mean?
when I did that blazing hottest sauce or whatever at B-Dubs, it was kicking mine for a couple of days. I will tell you.
Oh, I believe it. Well, listen, mine was kicked when you and I, when last time you were here, and we got those. I told you about this like months later, but we got those chips, those spicy like jalapeno baked chips, whatever.
yeah, I
Remember
forgot about
jalapeno
that.
cheddar chips? We were just eating on those while we were making some videos. the day after you left, I was in that bathroom. It was bad. Anyway, so fight, definitely a 5. Practicality is a 2. That's 7. And then I gave it a 5 for how much I like it. So that is 12 for me on the hot sauce.
Hot sauce is goated, dude. Look, on my side, I love hot sauce. So on my scale, 1 to 5, it's a 5 because I love it. In terms of versatility, you can put it on almost anything. That's going to be a 4. And then
wow,
you can put you can put hot sauce in almost anything, and it's just better. So it's going to be a 4 for me. And then in terms of whether it wins in a fight, hot sauce is coming in spicy and ready to roll. That's a 5. That's a nearly perfect score at 14 for me.
So 14 to 12, that's 30?
No.
14 and 12. Hold on. 24, 26.
We got there.
Sorry. We got there. Math wasn't my strong suit, as you can imagine.
14 and 12. 30? 30 is a perfect score,
30?
Alex.
I was trying to do like that. I don't know if there's a name for it, but like that quick math.
I mean, you did it pretty quick.
So 10 plus 10 is 20 plus 2 plus... Right, exactly. Too quick. Hot... You know what's funny? I was about to say hot sauce wins, because I think we know hot sauce is going to win this one.
We'll see.
But let's talk mayonnaise here. So,
yeah.
Mayonnaise, here's the thing with me and mayonnaise. I have always tried to tell myself that I don't like it, but I actually, like, it's fine. It's fine. I've had it on things. It's okay. Like, if it's on a sandwich these days, I'll eat it. Am I really going to go out of my way to get it? Absolutely not. It's just, no.
Right.
In fact, if they say, if I ask what's on the sandwich and they tell me so-and-so, mayonnaise, I'll say, no mayonnaise, that's okay. But if I receive the sandwich and there's mayonnaise on it, I'll eat it. So I'm going to say for mayonnaise, because of that attitude about it, I wouldn't say 3, because 3 is kind of like, I like it, right? Like, I think that's kind of, is that what you said? What did you gauge this first criteria as? Like, 3 is what?
3 is it's okay. 4 is I like it.
It's okay.
5 is I love it.
Then I guess I'm going to give mayonnaise a 3. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
2,
I said I don't like it. 1 is I hate it.
Right. Versatility is kind of a weird one with mayonnaise, because mayonnaise is basically like synonymous with like all kinds of sandwiches.
Right.
But it's really like just sandwiches, you know? So I don't know. That's a tough one for me. I'm probably, for that reason, it's so big in the sandwich world, but not super big anywhere else that I can think of. I'm going to give it a solid 3. Once again, just kind of across the board there.
Sure.
3 and 3. And then in a fight, it really feels like these are opposites here. Like, you got wimpy little mayonnaise and big hot sauce, you know? But mayonnaise is thick, right?
That's true.
And you can also really taste mayonnaise when it's on something. It's got a very distinct flavor. So I think, but once again, it's no hot sauce. I'm going to give it a 3 there, too, in a fight.
Yeah.
So I guess for me, it's 3s across the board, so that's 30.
I'm pretty close with you on
kidding.
that. Yes, that's 30. 3. That's 30. A trifecta of 3s, multiplied by 10.
That's right.
That's Las Vegas rules. But mayonnaise for me, it's okay. I'm a 3 on mayonnaise. It's not that I don't like mayonnaise, but like I never add mayonnaise to anything. But if mayonnaise is like comes with something, then great. Or, I mean, like,
right.
Obviously there are some things that I do like mayonnaise in, and we'll get to that actually with its versatility. Sandwiches, oh yeah. Any sandwich, any burger, anything on a bun can have mayonnaise. So very versatile.
Yeah.
But it's in a lot of salads, your chicken salads and your different, that kind of thing. It's in your coleslaws, like.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Versatility on mayonnaise. Actually, I'm struggling to think of anything you can't put mayonnaise on besides like literally ice cream, but like also it wouldn't even overpower the dang ice cream. Mayonnaise, like the one thing it's good at is just going with anything. So weirdly enough, its one strength for me is its versatility, and that comes in at a solid 5.
Holy crap, we were like almost opposites there. I think it's just because I'm not a huge fan of it. I just don't realize. I guess it is in a lot of things.
See,
yeah.
I'm like not either. Like for taste, I'm only giving it a 3, but for versatility, I recognize it can go on anything. So that's a 5 there. And then winning in a fight, like you said, it's typically thicker, but it also doesn't have a lot of smack, right? Like a creamy mayonnaise can be tasty, but it doesn't have a lot of smack. So I give it a 3 there as well for winning in a fight. So close to your score, but recognizing the versatility gives me an 11 points going to mayonnaise.
That's 11 going to mayonnaise. What? I said a 9, right?
Yeah, you said 9. So that's a 20. Actually, the same score we gave ketchup. Again. So when we go ketchup versus mayonnaise, that's going to be something.
Oh, yeah. So now hot sauce, you gave it a perfect score.
Almost.
Right? So that... No, almost. You got a 14. Sorry, I forgot to write down yours on this one. You got 14?
Yep.
And then I forgot. What did I say for hot sauce?
What did you say? You said
12.
Your total points was 12. I forget what your individuals
12.
were.
So...
Because 14 and 12 make 30.
That's right. That's a whole thing. So hot sauce wins.
Hot sauce wins versus mayonnaise. Yeah, for sure.
Dang. I mean, that's actually closer than I thought it was, though. But once again, we both kind of mayonnaise. We both love hot sauce, and I didn't know you loved hot sauce. So,
I love hot sauce.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking what we can do. Maybe are we actually? Because I didn't think this all the way through. When we go to the next round, are we going to put just the numbers up again? Or should we just kind of have a quick conversation and say, hey,
it'll go pretty quick because we've already given our numbers. But if we've changed our mind or have anything to deliberate, any last second things, then we can change it around. Because right now in the second round, it's going to be ketchup versus hot sauce. And I believe our ketchup score was 20 and our hot score sauce is 26. So hot sauce will automatically move on by the numbers. But if there's anything that we want to discuss or change our minds about, I guess we could discuss that now. Ketchup sitting at 20, hot sauce at 26. Do we just move hot sauce on?
Honestly, I'm in agreement with that. I think you and I are both on that same page.
Honestly, I don't see a reason to put ketchup above hot sauce in any of the tiers that I've already listed. So I'm there. We can move it on to the finals as well.
Boom. All right. Cool. That makes sense instead of just, because my mind will not change. I love hot sauce more than ketchup.
I do too.
It is what it is. But there's some interesting contenders here. So let's keep on moving. So next up, the next matchup we have is mustard versus salsa. We'll start with mustard. Now, mustard, for me, going to give it a 1, all right?
Okay.
Don't like mustard.
I didn't realize you were that strongly about mustard.
Yeah, I've tried it numerous times. The only kind of mustard I'll tolerate, and it's barely tolerate, and it's honey mustard. And even then, it's like the texture, no, can't do it. So I'm going to give it a 1. Practicality, versatility. People put mustard with more stuff than you may think. Obviously, it's on burgers and sandwiches and hot dogs and stuff, but it's also mixed in a lot of things, kind of like your mayonnaise.
Shout out briefly to the Two Peas podcast. Stephanie likes it on pretzels.
She likes it on pretzels.
And
you can also get...
I bring that up because I was talking about the podcast with my dad the other day because he caught that because he remembered, because it was your mall episode, he remembered getting pretzels at the mall and putting mustard on it. So shout out to your podcast.
Well, appreciate the shout out. Yeah, Two Piece Podcast. You can get that anywhere you get your podcast. It's fun. And isn't that an interesting story, by the way, about that guy who invented the modern setup of a mall?
And I think I had actually heard that story somewhere vaguely before, many years ago. So when you were talking about that, I'm like, yeah, that does sound familiar. It's
such a sad, you basically you created this thing and then you died unhappy with how it turned out.
Right.
It's just kind of sad.
Look, everyone at home, without going into it, look into the history of malls.
Or learn about it on the Two Piece Podcast.
That one.
Just look up the episode, Our Favorite Things About Malls.
But anyway, sorry to interrupt you. You're at a 1 on mustard, but it's versatility.
Yeah. Versatility is going to be higher. Is it for material? I don't know. I don't think it's that versatile. Like mayonnaise, now that you put it in that perspective, I wasn't even thinking of.
Right.
Mayonnaise is more versatile than mustard. So, but mustard's no slouch. So I'm going to give mustard a 3 there for versatility. And then in terms of a fight, mustard packs a punch. Like when there's mustard and ketchup on your burger or your hot dog, I can definitely taste that mustard. Maybe that's my opinion of hating it. I don't know, but mustard is there, and it's going to put up a pretty good fight. I'm going to give mustard probably a 4, because mustard is unapologetic. It's, hey, I'm mustard. I'm here. Take me now, right? So or take me on now. Let me add on. Take me now just sounds almost like romantic. Take me now.
Take me now.
Ravish me. So I would give mustard a 4 on the fight. So it's 4 and then a 3 for versatility. So that's 7, and then I gave it a 1 for how much I like it. So that's 8 total.
Mustard, I've had an interesting history with, definitely as a kid. Like I said, I loved ketchup. I hated mustard. Didn't like it. I'd be a 1 with you now. Now I like mustard. Okay, though. But I'm picky, so it's kind of hard on taste. I like a spicy brown mustard. Most honey mustards I don't like. Some I do. Regular yellow mustards, I'm kind of okay with, kind of no matter what. So I'm going to go with, because sometimes I'm picky about my mustard, I'm not going to go as far as I like it. I'm going to give it a 3, and it's okay. Some mustards I do like and would be a 4, but some I don't, so it'd be less. So I'm going to give it a 3 on personal taste. In terms of its versatility, it is quite versatile, and you can put it on a lot of stuff, and people do. So I'm going to say, like, it's definitely got its niche areas, which was kind of my issue with ketchup. What did I give ketchup, though? Did I give it a 3 or a 4? I feel like I gave ketchup a 3. So I'm going to give mustard...
I think you gave ketchup a 3, yeah.
I think we'll give mustard a 3 because mustard and ketchup, to me, are similar in terms of versatility. I'm kind of leaning mustard could be a 4, but I'm remembering the hot sauce I gave a 4. So actually, mustard's not nearly as versatile as hot sauce. So I'm going to go back to 3. So 3 and 3 so far. And in winning in a fight, I'm kind of with you there. It's kind of like the mustard stain never gives up, though. Right? Like that's like the idea of, like, you got a stain in your shirt. It's the mustard stain. It's the eternal mustard stain. So I'm actually going to give it a 4 on its ability to fight. It's a fighter. It hangs in there, and it's quite potent. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. So 3, 6, 4. I'm going to give it an even 10 points, maybe 11 if I gave it 5 in the fight. But I'm going to give it 10. 10 points on mustard.
Okay. 10 points on mustard, so that's 18 total for mustard. Let's move on to salsa. I'm interested to hear your opinion on this. I freaking love salsa. I'm just going to say it. Freaking love it.
I love it.
And I don't know if you ever saw this. It was an old Vine, but it was like this girl, and she's like, there's like a little girl, and she's like holding like this like toy bat or something like that, like it's Halloween time. She's like, look at these. These are freaking bats. I freaking love Halloween. It just this little girl. It was so cute. It was funny.
I don't remember that. That's great.
But I freaking love salsa. So I'm going to give salsa a 5. I love all kinds of salsas. I love the sweet corn salsas. I love the super hot and spicy ones. I love them chunky. I love them thin. Doesn't matter. Lay it on me. I'll bathe in it. Love salsa. Now, versatility.
Right. Elephant in the room here.
You could just hear crickets. Versatility.
I feel like we're gonna be like lock and step right now when it comes to salsa, because versatility. Okay. I put it with chips and
Right. So yeah, I do like it on eggs instead of like hot sauce or something. I've done salsa and eggs, but I think that's kind of unusual. That seems a little different, but I would try that. Yeah. I will say, well, actually, I used to make breakfast wraps, and I guess I would do it with that. I put salsa on breakfast wraps. That's a thing. And I do put it with stir fries sometimes, but that's a weird me thing.
Sure.
But I'll use like salsa as the thing to kind of, I guess, what's it called? To make it less dry, to hydrate it a little bit.
Give it some wetness, moisten it up.
Give it some wetness. So, but... After saying that, I probably will give it a 2, I think.
Yeah.
Because I can't say 1. If it was like, if we were both, chips. But it does go on a couple other things. Yeah. So I guess I'm going to give salsa a 2 there. In terms of a fight, I don't know if we're going to be eye to eye in this or not. Salsa's, I think, is kind of a toss-up. Because a part of me wants to say, like, if it's a big old, like, cheese, like, chunky salsa, that's coming in hot,
Right.
Especially with, because a lot of salsas can be really hot, too. I don't know, because, like, I'm looking at hot sauce. I gave hot sauce a 5 in a fight.
Right.
The salsa, is that the same standards of what it would do in a fight? It's either a 4 or a 5 for me, and I got to be honest with myself.
Right.
But some salsas have, like, straight up, like, just hot peppers in there, and they can be hotter than hot sauce, though.
Wow.
So
Maybe.
Some of the like the legit salsas. Oh my god.
They do get
like have you ever had like home
homemade? Yeah.
Yeah, like
homemade peppers out of the garden.
I just realized I didn't finish my words.
Annihilates your face. I know what you're talking about.
My mom, Middendorf Farms on Facebook and Instagram. My mom makes salsa, and it is so freaking hot. It's so good though, but it's really hot. So I don't know, but hot sauce gets bad too. I'm just gonna be honest with myself. My first gut instinct was to give it a 4 in a fight, so I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yeah,
I feel disappointed, but I'm gonna say 4.
I'm honestly right there with you. 5. I love salsa. Versatility, gosh, like I'll put it on eggs and stuff, but normally, like even if I'm having eggs, I'm not like reaching for the salsa. It's like, am I out of hot sauce? Am I out of ketchup? Like, do I want a sauce, but what I have is salsa? So the versatility, maybe I'm being rude, and we'll see if I think of anything else in the interim. I'm giving it a 1. Like it is the ultimate chip thing for me, but that's like it. So it's 5 for taste, but 1 for versatility, which feels so rude, and I feel so bad. But in a fight, it's chunky, but you also have sweet varieties. I think it really, in a fight, doesn't consistently stand up to like something like hot sauce at the 5 level in a fight. I give it a 4. Kind of like
sweet ones,
There are sweet ones that are really nice. So for me, it's 5, 1, 4. That gives me an even 10, which feels so rude because that's like what I literally gave mustard, and I would prefer salsa in like every situation over mustard probably, but the only time I'd have it is salsa. I wouldn't dip my chips in mustard, so there's that.
Yeah. So looks like mustard adds up to 18.
Yep.
Salsa adds up to 21.
That was a really close one.
That was close. I didn't know how that one was going to go.
Yeah.
Because I actually didn't know how you felt about either of these. But salsa moves on. Salsa. I'm okay with this. This could end up being very interesting.
This final pairing in the first tier is interesting.
Yes. So
we got some heavy hitters. I feel like we'll see what you're thinking.
I feel the same way. We got barbecue sauce versus ranch. It's rancid dressing.
Rancid dressing.
So barbecue sauce versus ranch dressing. Oh, boy. Ranch, I mean, some would say it is the sauce of our people. Midwest. Ranch is on everything.
Let me sauce you with the sauce of my people.
The sauce of my people. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a little different for me, though. Like, I guess I'll start with barbecue sauce. So barbecue sauce, I think, is really freaking good.
Yeah.
But I got to remember how I voted for other things. So
or not.
I do though. I got to keep my gauge like in check, right?
Or not. Chaos.
I play by the rules, Weston.
There are no rules.
Actually, there's one rule. I'm going to give barbecue sauce a really solid 4, but just know that if there was a 4.5, I'd give it that. But I'm going to give it a 4. And that's just because I really do love it. I love it on all kinds of meat. I put it on other things as well. I'm recently experimented with it. What did I made an experiment, some weird burrito experiment. I have a thing with burrito experiments, clearly.
Okay.
I can't remember what it was now, but it wasn't normal, but it was good. But it wasn't good enough for me to remember, I guess. But anyway, I like it. Barbecue sauce. Okay, that's 4 for me. In terms of versatility, I have to think about it. I mean, barbecue sauce goes on a lot of different meats. It's kind of like a glaze sort of thing on a lot of different meats, like chicken or beef, I guess. You might have some ideas in your head that I'm not thinking of, but I can't think of it being super, 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 useful for a lot of different dishes. Maybe, I guess, meatloaf and stuff like that, like you said. I'm going to give it a solid 3 on that. So that's going to add up to 7 there. And then in terms of a fight, I don't see, barbecue sauce can kind of range like salsa does.
Right.
It's like there's some spicy ones, but then there's also the sweet ones. And I think we should remember there's a little bit of ketchup in every, well, not in every, I can't say every, but in a lot of barbecue sauce, there's a little bit of ketchup in there. So I think barbecue sauce would hold its own, and maybe I'm being too generous, but I'm stuck between a 3 and a 4 with a barbecue sauce, like being in a fight. I'm going to give barbecue sauce a 3. I feel a 3. I hate to say it, but I think that's where barbecue sauce is going to be in a fight. He's going to hold his own, or she, could be anybody. But I don't know. I just think there's better contenders out there, like in a fight. So that's a 3, and then what did I say? I said a 3 again, and then a 4. So that's 3, 6, 9, 10 for me for barbecue sauce.
Solid 10. Not the strongest showing we've seen across the board, but a solid showing. I love barbecue sauce. I can't think of a barbecue sauce off the top of my head that I don't like. Some of them I prefer over others. I love barbecue sauce. That's a solid 5 for personal taste. In terms of versatility, anything that you can conceivably put meat into, you can put barbecue sauce on it, period.
Right.
This includes like pizza. You glossed over the pizza factor. Barbecue pizza is amazing.
Yeah. Totally forgot about that.
And that introduces
Barbecue
a world
pizza,
of
yum.
different pastas and stuff that you can absolutely put pizza on, calzone or something. No, I'm going to give barbecue sauce a really good 4 on versatility. It doesn't go on everything.
Wow.
But because of the wide variety of things you can put meat on, whether you do or don't, you could probably put barbecue sauce on it. So that's going to be a 5 and a 4 for me. And it's standing up in a fight, barbecue sauce, I don't know. When I think barbecue sauce, I think of like the guy stepping into the ring with the giant 10-gallon hat, like the Texan, right? Ready to rodeo when I think barbecue sauce. And that's a strong showing for a fight. I'm giving it a 4 on ready to fight, ready to roll it, but can also be sweet. It's got its sweet side sometimes too. So for me, that's a 5-4-4. That's going to be a solid 13 coming from me for barbecue sauce.
23 total for barbecue sauce. I see your point, by the way.
Yeah.
With like the Texan got the big hat. Like, this ain't my first rodeo, kid.
This town isn't big enough for the both of us.
So this is another close call here. So, wait a second. I was looking at the wrong number.
Yeah, we're not there yet. We got to discuss ranch dressing.
That's my bad. I was looking at notes. All right. So ranch. So right now, barbecue's at 23 total. Ranch dressing. So this is the one I was joking about earlier because it feels like a very Midwest thing to me, especially once I left the region. Nobody cares about ranch in the South.
I know. This is going to be... Anyone not from the Midwest is going to listen to this and be like, what is this obsession?
So I can recognize the huge obsession with ranch, and I feel like I'm going to let my fellow Midwesterners down when I say ranch is good. I like it. Do I love it? No. Do I love it with my fries? Hell yeah. Oh my God. I would ditch ketchup and dip my fries in ranch every time. So it's very conditional for me. But for me, it's between a 3 and a 4. You know what though? I mean, because of how much I just love it with my fries, like I love it with my fries.
I've done fries with ranch. Some people do like fries and mayo, and that's weird to me. Even though I recognize
that's strange.
I recognize people do, so that's why mayonnaise had a 5 for me on versatility. But like, I would prefer ranch over mayo.
Right. For that alone, because I do like it on my salads, and I do dip it. Like I like dip it with like pizza and stuff. I do. So, I've learned a very huge Midwest thing. So, I think I'm going to give it a 4. I can't say that I love it, but I definitely like it. So, I'm going to give it a 4 for that. Versatility, I mean, if you're from where we're from, it goes on everything. So, and it's used in cooking things as well. That's either a 4 or 5. Ranch goes on so much, but it's kind of like what you said. The only thing I can think of is like ice cream. I'm not going to put that on ice cream.
But you could.
But I could. Hell, you know what? I'm going to give it a 5 because I'll dip like my fried chicken in it. That's good. There's so much I'll do with it.
Yeah.
So I'm giving that a 5. So it's a 4 and a 5. That's a 9. In a fight, I know it's like you're on the sidelines, like rooting on, like come on, Ranch, come on, let's go,
come on, Ranch.
Ranch in a fight. I don't see. Ranch looks unassuming. It looks unassuming, right? It's kind of like the underdog. Like, it looks like it's not going to do much, and then he comes out there, he might kick ass. So I'm going to give, because here's what I feel like, right? Ranch walks out there, right? It's ranch versus, let's say, barbecue sauce.
Right.
He's the big Texan. He's coming out there. Then, hi, I'm ranch, right? Ranch is like, or maybe not that, but like, hey, I'm ranch. Like ranch is the kind of straight, kind of in the middle kind of guy. And then, but all of a sudden, ranch is kicking butt. Like, because the Texan's like, this guy's going to be a piece of cake, but then ranch comes through because ranch has that flavor. Got a really good flavor. So I'm going to give ranch a 4 for a fight.
Okay.
So that's a 4, that's a 5, and that's a 4. Close to a perfect score. So that's a 13 for me on ranch.
I'll tell you what, ranch is probably moving on because, hear me out, I love myself some ranch, so that's going to be a 5 coming from personal taste. Does it go on everything? Absolutely it does. Welcome to the Midwest, brother. It's going to be a 5 on versatility. And then when it comes to being in a fight, ranch dressing, now it doesn't sound like it would be as tough as Mr. Barbecue Texan, but ranch literally has the word ranch in it. This is your unassuming, kindly country bumpkin, but
it's in the name.
If you got someone to pull a tractor with his bare hands, ranch dressing is your guy. He'll also take you to the dance and be super polite, but he'll win a goddamn fight. Ranch 4 on a fight. That's going to be a nearly perfect score. 5, 5, 4 for 14.
So that adds up to 27 total. First of all, that's the perfect way to put it. He's a nice guy. I forgot what you said now, but like he's a nice guy. He'll take to the dance, but or what'd you say? I already forgot. It was so
He'll
good.
take you to the dance, take you to the prom or whatever. Be politest dude. Will win a fight.
Yep. Will win a fight. Absolutely. So up against the salsa. Salsa,
I think had
21
or 21.
Ranch.
21.
Yep. Salsa's 21. Ranch is 27.
That's hard to argue
So unless
with.
we have, that is hard to argue with. Which is, it's hard for me to look at it side by side, salsa and ranch, and for me that's a hard choice. But I can't argue with the numbers here. I'd say ranch moves on.
Ranch moves on and beats salsa at the round 2. And that brings us to our championship round, and this is everything I could have hoped for, because for the championship at the finale, we have hot sauce versus ranch dressing.
I had a feeling. Now, we can talk about this, right? So I will give sheer numbers first, okay? This is close. Hot sauce is at 26, and ranch is at 27.
This is extremely close.
Now, if we have any things, we might be able to, if we want to change any numbers, we can. How do we feel about ranch moving on? Because here's the thing. So for me personally, if I'm looking at ranch or hot sauce, I'm gonna look at look at the hot sauce first. Personally, but ranch does go on everything.
Here's the catch, right? Hear me out. Oh, no. Everything in my heart and soul wants to say hot sauce, right? But hear me out.
Yeah.
For me, I love them both, so that's 5s. When it came to versatility, hot sauce was a 4, and I gave ranch a 5. So that gives hot sauce the edge. But when it comes to the fight, even though hot sauce, I gave a 5 there, right? And ranch a 4. Ranch, when you've had too much hot sauce, what always beats hot sauce? To cool it down.
Oh, you're
ranch every time.
Yep.
I know you're a blue cheese guy, but ranch is what you go to. You like when you've got your B-dubs or whatever, hot sauce. If you have to beat hot sauce, it's always ranch. So,
oh my gosh.
Everything in my heart and soul.
Did you just think of that? That's brilliant.
I just thought of that. Everything in my heart and soul is like, hot sauce has to win. I love it so much. Hot sauce has to. But the one thing ranch can always consistently beat in a fight is hot sauce.
I have no rebuttal. I have no words. That's brilliant. Like it's so funny. It's right in front of me. It's in front of us this whole time. Ranch. What do you dip your wings in? Ranch. Oh my god.
Ranch is the condiment you put on top of a condiment, right? Hot sauce you put on your wings. That's a condiment. You put ranch on your hot sauce. Ranch beats hot sauce.
Ladies and gentlemen, ranch dressing is the king of condiments.
Whoa!
Tell us if you agree. There's going to be a lot of booing,
There's
I bet.
There's going to be so much disagreement, but
I know.
I mean,
well, there's like some strong ketchup people out there, and ketchup,
oh for sure,
didn't make it.
Ketchup
too far.
made it to the second round.
So.
Ketchup did. It beat soy sauce. I think that was a pretty easy fight, but
yeah, I don't.
Amazing.
But either way, ranch wins. I had a feeling. It was. I knew hot sauce was going to make it. I thought barbecue sauce was going to make it farther.
Honestly, I did too. But
again,
it went up against ranch. What can I say?
It went up against. Yeah, this is totally random, and that's just kind of how it laid out. Well, I feel good about this, Weston. We've overstayed our welcome. It's time for us to go. Tell us where people can find you on the internet.
WestonHasty.com has all of my things. If you want to say hi, meet me up on Twitter. Say hi at Weston Hasty. I have a gaming channel on YouTube at Magic Man Mo. Read some poetry on my poetry blog, hastylymadedecision.com.
Speaking of that, if you want to get some more insight into his poetry and his craft, we just talked about his poetry
2 episodes ago.
2 episodes ago. Yep, I knew it was recent,
Yeah.
so check that out. He's got some good stuff. For me, you can look at everything I do at alexduquette.net. You can also just type in my name on YouTube, Alex Duquette, and find my primary stuff, which is medleys. But anything music related, I do. I do all kinds of stuff. Original music, songwriting stuff, and then I do the medleys, which is where I take a bunch of songs and then combine them into one song. So like TV show theme songs and stuff. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. And yeah, it's all there at alexduquette.net. In terms of us, we are Profoundish. You can find us all over the place, including where you're listening now. But yeah, we're on all the main podcast platforms. We're also, if you're not listening on YouTube, we do have a YouTube channel where you can kind of throw that on in the background and watch and leave a comment, let us know what you're thinking. Also, wherever you're listening or watching, leave us a subscribe, leave us a rating, leave us a comment, a review, wherever you're at. Show us that you like what we do. It helps us gauge who's interested, and it helps the show grow. So let us know about all that stuff. You can also find us at social media as well, at Profoundish Pod. That's where, Weston, what? Instagram, Twitter.
And
I think
TikTok.
We have Twitter.
Yep, Twitter,
And TikTok
Instagram,
as
TikTok.
well. So check that out. But that's all for now, Weston. What is your final... You have 3 final words you can say. 3 words. What 3 words will you say right now to say goodbye? To sum this all up.
Ranch. Drown me.
You heard it here first. Ranch, drown us. Everybody, goodbye.